It was a silent morning in the thick heart of the jungle. No bird songs yet, no buzzing insects. Only the tall trees stood guard, their leaves rustling secrets in the wind. On one such branch, curled up in the faint light, sat a tiny newborn monkey, barely able to open his eyes. He shivered, not just from the morning chill, but from the terrifying emptiness that surrounded him. His family, his whole troop, had vanished in the night, either scared away or taken by predators, leaving him all alone. In the jungle, being alone is a death sentence, especially for the smallest and weakest. Yet as the first rays of sunlight touched the dewladen leaves, something incredible started to happen. A rustle in the leaves above made him look up. Not a snake or a cat, but a family of hornbills, 3 adults and 2 chicks, watching him with curious eyes. They didn't swoop down aggressively, didn't snatch him, didn't even chirp loudly. They just stayed there, perched on the branch above, keeping a watchful eye on him. The little monkey, confused and scared, huddled further into himself. But after a while, realizing they meant him no harm, he slowly began to calm down. That's when the true soul of the jungle began to unfold. The hornbills, instead of flying away, hopped closer to him. One of them nudged him gently with its beak, and the boldest one actually tried to groom him. The little monkey, still trembling, leaned into the touch, finding solace in the warmth of their feathers. As the hours passed, the jungle woke up around them. Insects hummed, birds sang, and a family of lungers came bounding through the canopy. The lead female, a majestic creature with a silvered back, suddenly paused. She looked down at the baby monkey and, after a moment's hesitation, began to climb slowly towards him. In the animal kingdom, where survival is a daily battle and different species rarely mix, her action was nothing short of a miracle. She reached where the baby sat, and instead of pouncing or driving him away, she did something that defied all logic and species barriers. She sniffed him gently, almost as if she were saying hello. Then she sat right beside him on the branch, offering him a juicy fruit from her mouth. The baby monkey stared at her, his fear momentarily returning. In the wild, trust is hard-earned. Yet in that moment, something compelled him to reach out. He took the fruit from her, hesitantly at first, and then with growing confidence. And in that exchange, an extraordinary bond began to form. That day, the Lungors stayed with him. The baby, now named Hope by the hornbills, nestled between the older females, feeling the comforting warmth of their body. They groomed him, fed him, and carried him during the day, shielding him with their own body. Even the usually skittish hornbills braved the leafy canopy, dropping ripe berries near his resting spot. Each day brought new wonders. A wild boar, tusks gleaming, would often circle nearby. As if standing guard, a timid deer lingered in the distance, watching over them. All these creatures, so different, so potentially bound together by an invisible thread of care. And as days turned into weeks, the jungle became his playground. Under the watchful eyes of his adopted family, Hope began to explore, to learn, to play. He mimicked the older Lungors, awkwardly leaping between branches, chirping excitedly as he swung. And when the hornbills flew away, he would wave his tiny arms until they disappeared into the blue. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the jungle floor, Hope found himself nestled beside the wild boar, who had become his unlikely friend. The boar, usually solitary and gruff, had grown unexpectedly fond of the little monkey, its tough hide offering comfort and security to the small creature. As the night sounds filled the air, Hope snuggled closer to the warm fur, feeling an overwhelming sense of belonging. In that moment, the boundaries of species, of instinct, seemed to blur. What was happening here wasn't just survival. It was a testament to the enduring power of connection. In a world where animals typically stick to their own kind, where different species rarely interact, let alone form bonds, the jungle was doing something extraordinary. Hope, the once abandoned baby monkey, was becoming part of a family he didn't have, a family he didn't even know existed. His life, which had started with abandonment and fear, was now filled with acceptance and love. But it wasn't just about the animals. The jungle itself was responding. The trees, the leaves, the very essence of the wild was nurturing this bond. In the rustling of the leaves, the monkeys heard encouragement. In the chirping of the birds, they heard stories. The jungle, with its ancient wisdom, was weaving a tale of unity, of compassion, a tale that transcended the boundaries of species and instinct. It was a story that spoke of a time when humans, too, lived in harmony with nature, when we understood that life doesn't always need explanation, only presence. A young girl, sitting deep in the quiet of the forest, was listening intently to the old woman's words. "But Grandma," she asked, her voice echoing the wonder of the tale, "why are they doing this? Why is the jungle protecting him?" The old woman smiled, her eyes twinkling with the wisdom of years. "Because, child," she said softly, "life doesn't always need a reason. Sometimes it just happens." She pointed to the playful Hope, now swinging confidently through the trees, his laughter echoing in the green cathedral. "Look at him," she said. "He's not just surviving. He's thriving. He's found his place here, hasn't he?" The girl nodded, understanding dawning in her eyes. She realized that this wasn't just a story of a monkey in a jungle. It was a reflection of something deeper, something that resided in all of us. It was a story of connection, of the innate goodness that exists in the world, waiting for us to see it, to feel it. As the tale came to an end, the girl knew she wasn't just listening to a story. She was receiving a reminder of the kind of world she wanted to live in. A world where differences didn't divide, where empathy bridged the gaps, and where compassion was the guiding light. Days turned into weeks, then months, and still, the little monkey thrived. He grew stronger, more agile, his laughter echoing through the trees. The jungle, once a scary, unpredictable wilderness, had become his home, a place of joy, of friendship, of unconditional belonging. Now, whenever the moon hung like a silver coin in the velvet sky, Hope would sit beside the old langur, her gentle eyes reflecting the moonlight. She would tell him stories of his birth troop, of the life that existed beyond their leafy sanctuary. One night, as the fireflies winked in the darkness, Hope confided his longing to return to his own kind. The old langur, wise and patient, nuzzled him. "Your place is here, little one," she said softly. "You belong with us." But Hope shook his head, his eyes fixed on the distant jungle edge. "I want to see the world," he whispered, "to find my own people." The langur sighed, knowing that his decision was made. "Then go," she said, "but promise to return. Promise to remember the jungle's embrace." And so, with a heavy heart, Hope bid farewell to his adopted family. He hugged the old langur, caressed the boar's tough hide, and whispered to the birds before disappearing into the night. As he ventured into the unknown, the jungle's wisdom echoed in his ears. He traveled for many moons, facing challenges, meeting new creatures, each encounter shaping his understanding of the wild. But as the seasons changed and the jungle rhythms called to him, Hope knew he couldn't stay away forever. He turned, his heart pounding, and raced towards the familiar trees. When he finally saw the old langur, tears welled up in his eyes. Rushing to her, he realized that no matter where he roamed, no matter what adventures awaited, his true home was here. In the end, Hope didn't just find a family. He found unity, proving that in the grand tapestry of life, unity is the most beautiful thread of all. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment to support our channel Jungle Echoes Rescue and Mystery. We bring you the real, emotional, and forgotten tales of the wild where survival meets soul.